Oh hey guys, how's it going? My name's Casey and I'm about to go travel from Muskegon, Michigan to Austin, Texas. I have 2 weeks of paid time off of work and I've been planning this, as most of my friends know, ever since seeing the total solar eclipse in 2017. All I can think about is when's the next time I can see one. So I've been planning this vacation for quite some time. I'm going to be trading out the baseball hat for the cowboy hat and go to Texas for the very first time. Today's day one of this trip, April 1st, and pretty much I'm just packing all my gear today and getting ready to hit the road tomorrow. I don't have to be down there till the 8th, so I'm gonna take it day by day and hopefully you guys will like to follow along with my adventure. I'm gonna be vlogging every single day on the whole vacation. So I'm gonna be driving down in my 2020 Tesla Model 3 Performance autonomously with FSD V12. I'm gonna be camping every single day until I get to Austin. So I'm bringing all my camping gear, my Ego power station, my test mat to sleep out of my car, and my video footage, and most importantly, my new Celestron 6 SE, which I'll show you a bit more on day 2. All right, day 2. I'm kind of coming to terms realizing that I'm gonna be gone for 2 entire weeks. That's pretty crazy. I know I'm gonna see my wife in a couple days, but man, I'm gonna miss these 2 little kitties. Brian and Carl mean the world to me. All right, I topped my car off to 100% at the free chargers in downtown Muskegon. I'm gonna take one little loop around downtown, say goodbye to this place I call my home, because I am hitting the road. Made it from about 100% to 18%, and my first supercharge is in Munster, Indiana. This place is at a Target, so I'm gonna go grab some snacks, and I'm done charging in about 27 minutes. Super rainy all day long today, and after another couple hours, I got to stop in Champaign, Illinois for a 25-minute charge. I haven't been to this place since 2005 when my band Duckbaum played a show here. It really made me remember Zach Krause and Matt Cutie and Jeff Knoll and Sock. It's pretty cool. I don't even remember what the venue was, but I do remember the show. While I'm on the road, I'm looking for a campsite to camp at tonight that has a NEMA 1450 outlet to charge on, so I can run camp mode and keep my car at about 70 degrees while getting a full battery by morning. All right, I found the campground, Wayne Fitzgerald Campground. It looks like their headquarters closed at 3:30. I did find an open camp spot with an outlet that I needed, but because I'm not able to reserve a spot, it's a little bit sketchy, so I don't think I'm gonna stay here overnight, which is a shame because the camp spot was only 20 bucks, but there's no way to pay for it online. Tons of deer out here though. I found a local community college, John A. Logan Community College. Go Vols. They have level 2 chargers all over campus, and hopefully I can charge here and sleep in my car overnight and nobody will mess with me.
Well, this is it. End of day 2. This is camp moding. Honestly, a lot of room in here. I'm about 5'11". I'm fully sprawled out in the back seat and trunk. Got a nice mattress. I'm gonna sleep good. Get ready for day 3. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Good morning, Minor, Missouri. That was not the greatest sleep last night. I had to go to the bathroom at like 4 a.m., so I drove an hour. And I'm supercharging again. As I start day 3, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who did a demo drive for me that is basically a sponsor for this trip. It's paying for all my supercharging. So I wanted to say thanks to my dad, Dave Loring, Brian Andrag, Nikki Sanchez, my wife, Cassie Loring. That was an awesome day. Cullen and Katie Schaefer went. Thank you so much, guys. We had Elijah and Maggie, really appreciate it. Randy Tashian, thanks, over there on the east side of the state. And then my 3 boys, that was a hell of a day too. Bronson Stida, Derek Wong, and Nick Howard went. And also thanks to my sister Kaylee and Keith Magnuson. You guys rounded out the trip. Really appreciate it. So you guys are my sponsors for this trip. So it's through you guys that this is even possible. So I'm gonna hit the road again, and I think next stop is Jonesboro, and I'm gonna try to sleep in Texarkana tonight. So probably another boring road trip day. The scenery was quite beautiful today. A lot of flowers and barren Arkansonian landscapes. Little Rock had a pretty awesome skyscraper skyline. I'm kind of ashamed to say that I've been surviving on nothing but sun chips, Pop-Tarts, and liquid death this whole trip so far, but I'm hopefully gonna be eating something a little bit more nutritious tonight when I get in to Texas. It's my first time ever being in Texas, and I'm greeted to a supercharger station at an Olive Garden. You know I'm gonna be tackling some all-you-can-eat salad and breadsticks. That was very much needed. I had a lot of points saved up from my job staying at hotels throughout the year, so I was able to cash in some rewards points on my Hilton Honors account to finally pop down and stay at a hotel on this trip. Get a nice shower in, you know what I mean? Here I'm looking for some destination chargers to top off my battery, and there we go. Here we are, capping out night 3 in the hotel room. Not a whole lot going on. I'm in Texarkana, Texas, and I'm gonna try to make it to Austin. Plans fell through with staying with my friend Alex in Oklahoma, which is a bummer. I was looking forward to seeing his new house. So I'm just gonna hit up Austin. Cassie doesn't fly in until Saturday, so I got Thursday and Friday to kill before I can even get into our Verbo that we paid a lot of money for. So, all right, peace out. I'm gonna get a good night's sleep. See you on day 4. Alright, day 4. Here we go. Heading into the heart of Texas. While I'm getting some breakfast here at the hotel, make sure you smash that like button and hit the subscribe. First, I have to say thank you to Michelle and Nathan Grinnell. You guys Venmoed me $10 to get some coffee. Thank you. That is much appreciated. Oh, and real quick, I saw my first Cybertruck in the wild at Royce City Superchargers. Pretty cool. Alright, I made it to Austin. Wow, traffic was pretty crazy getting here. I'm not going to want to try to move along the path of totality on Monday. I can already tell every highway in and out of this city is just going to be so jam-packed. So the onus is on me to really try to pick a spot on the path of totality outside of Austin that I can get to early in the morning and be set. Anyways, where am I right now? Holy crap. I went and looked at where our Verbo is. It's in a pretty hipster neighborhood called Zilker Park. Every guy is shirtless with six-pack abs. I don't quite fit in. Anyways, I don't get access to the Verbo until Saturday. I'm in town 2 days earlier than expected. The drive here, otherwise, 3 days of driving. I had 7 supercharges to get here. Each one was about half an hour or 15 minutes. So I would say, really, it only added maybe 3 hours of driving. Or 3 hours of charging to get here in the 3 days, I'd say. And most of the times I'd be done charging and I'd still need more time to get some food or use a restroom. So really, the drive couldn't have been any better. There's a couple close calls on hitting stuff in the road, but FSD, man, I can't really explain it. Version 12, this single stack AI neural network or whatever it is so impressive. Such a huge improvement. Like, it made the whole drive down here so easy, so comfortable, so stress-free. Like, maybe, I don't know, a handful of interventions, but they were all just like stuff that like I would have had to react harshly to as well. So, I don't know. It was the easiest, longest road trip I've ever done in my life. Like, I used to dread driving up to Houghton. I'd always be falling asleep at the wheel. Like, you know, I'd start dozing off even if I was wide awake when I started. Just the monotony of driving would always just naturally make me sleepy. And this V12 autopilot, full self-driving supervised is what it's called now. Just that, and the seats and the room. A lot of people get Model Ys because they're a lot roomier, but like, man, I got plenty of room, and I'm a bigger guy too, so I have got no complaints. This is the best road tripping car. Man, it's just great. I'm so lucky to have it, and anyways, long story short, I'm looking for a place to stay. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna find a couple $100 hotel for the next 2 days, but anyways, I think I struck gold, you guys. I just found this like parking lot that nobody's in, and it's free, and there's free level 2 chargers, like 6 kilowatts. So I don't know, I'm gonna go explore around this area, and if I can find a place to use a restroom and fill up my water, I might just camp mode here for the next 2 days and go find some weird stuff, because you gotta keep Austin weird, right? So, all right, let the adventures begin. All right, you guys, bad news. I went for a walk to what I thought was a gas station, but it is now some large tech startup building. Classic. And the entrance to this parking garage definitely had a sign that was like, nobody but tenants and employees, or you'll get towed. So, not gonna sleep here. So that's bad news. But the good news is, I don't even know if I can say it. An old friend from many years ago that lives in Austin now just texted me and invited me to stay at his house. I can't say who it is just yet, but I am so excited. Oh my gosh. So you're gonna have to wait till day 5 to see what's going on. I've got a huge day of exploring Austin to do tomorrow. See ya. Man, I just slept real good. Oh man. I'm in Steve House's house right now. I have to have a little memorial right now. DJI Phantom 3 Standard. It lasted me about 10 years. I almost lost you 100 times. I almost crashed you, or I did crash you a couple 100 times. But I think it's time to retire you.
Perfect.
Upgrade, let's go. Steve, or Bike Steve as we used to call him, was one of my best friends in my teens and early adulthood. Isn't it just the best when you bump into a friend that you haven't seen in like well over a decade and you reconnect as if time didn't even exist? That's the best type of friendship. It warmed my heart to know he's still one of the most genuine, gracious, and hospitable people I've ever crossed paths with. How proud I am of the guy he's became, and words definitely can't describe how thankful I am that he just trusted me with his house for the week. All right, now that I've caught up on some serious sleep, I need to be productive and calibrate and collimate this Celestron 6 SE for some solar viewing and prep for the big day. As if this vacation couldn't get any better, in classic Steve fashion, he pops the question, hey, wanna go to Steve Aoki tonight?
sky. I need to know that you'll be around. I'm gonna show you how much you shine. We sing the songs that we're singing for the ones that we're missing, until we know that they feel the love, feel the love. When we're older, yeah, I know we won't forget tonight. It's never over. In the moment we will never die. And all I know is when we're together, nothing can ever come in between. When we're older, yeah, I know we won't forget this time, yeah.
Stay tuned for day 6. Cassie's flying in tomorrow. Alright, here we are, day 6. Today's the big day. Cassie's arriving. She's flying from Muskegon to Chicago to Austin. And she's gonna spend the week up here too. So proud of her, being able to get a vacation. This is her first time flying on a big plane. She did fly in that small little pond skipper when she had to go from Hancock to Muskegon when she visited me when I first moved up to Howse. Today is going to be going to get the Verbo unlocked and then picking her up at the airport tonight. So before all that happens, I'm just going to do a little drive. It's actually a lot further than I thought it was based on the map. I'm going to go out towards Fredericksburg, which is kind of in the vicinity where I wanted to go scout out spots to look at the eclipse. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't even realize this, but Fredericksburg is where Bill Nye and the Planetary Society and a whole bunch of YouTubers, Dodd from Everyday Astronaut, Mark Rober, are going to be doing an eclipse festival for 2 days, which starts tomorrow, I think. So we're not going to be involved in that. I think it was like $325 to do that. But I'm going to go scope out there and see what it looks like in this town. That's pretty cool. So today's just going to be a relaxing day, driving around Texas and picking up Cassie and getting this Verbo that we paid $1,800 a week that unfortunately wasn't refundable. Let's talk about what everyone's talking about. The clouds have arrived in Texas. Even last week we saw in the forecasts that it's not looking good, which is such a shame, right? Like 3 years ago I'm like, okay, it's got to be Austin. I got to go to the most arid climate possible for the best chance of seeing the eclipse. It looks like it's going to be cloudy, which is a huge bummer. Cassie and I have seen eclipses before, but my mom hasn't. And my mom spent a lot of money to come fly down to Texas to see one. So even though it's likely going to be a massive bummer, we're not going to be able to see totality, I can't be upset. This vacation has been absolutely awesome so far. So what does that mean? That just means gonna have to save up for a vacation to Spain in 2 years, where the next total solar eclipse is gonna be. So I'm not even bummed. Maybe these clouds will go away. Maybe a big burst of wind will come through and clear all this out on Monday. Who knows? Maybe Elon will invent some sort of cloud vacuum in the next 2 days and get rid of all this, right? So who knows? Only time will tell. I'm gonna have a good day of driving. All right, day 7, begin. I gotta show Cassie what makes Austin such a cool place to be. The city's just so active outside. These beautiful springs are like right by our Verbo in walking distance. Everything is so super clean. You don't see any litter anywhere. Definitely coming back here to swim later today. We're gonna head into downtown for the first time. And there's just art everywhere. Full self-driving on this car is so good down here. I used to think coming to big cities was stressful because I didn't know where I was going, or I was afraid I was gonna get into an accident. And like, this is just so stress-free driving around, just having your car take you wherever you need to go and making all these very complex decisions for you. This software is getting super impressive. And there's so many Cybertrucks. This is the first one Cassie's ever seen. Chewy's is also very close to our Verbo, so we had to go get some food there. Oh my gosh, we're so super full, but we gotta make it to the airport to go pick up my mom. And this little boy's our neighbor. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much I miss my cats.
She made it! Texas with my two favorite ladies. Cheers.
I am so happy my mom got to come adventure with us. That's so awesome she came down to Austin. My mom loves to go for hikes, so we definitely started hoofing it back down to the springs, and this time I brought some swimming shorts. This is without a doubt one of the coolest big cities I've ever been in. All right, we gotta head back to the Verbo and get some serious sleep. Tomorrow is what we came here for, the total solar eclipse. Mom.
What?
What are we doing today?
Going to see the eclipse.
All right, very little narration needed for this one. I'm gonna let the video do the work. We all knew this day was coming, and we all knew it was gonna be cloudy. There's glimmers of hope in the sky though, and everyone in town is here. This park is absolutely packed with everyone here for the same purpose, to see totality. This is such a tease. There's very sporadic bits of blue sky up there, and we're all just crossing our fingers that maybe we can get a little peek.
Through the dust, I've been trying to call your name. Come and take me home. 'Cause no matter the noise, you're bringing peace to my mind. Being drawn to your voice, even when you're out of sight. Wish I could find all the words, 'cause I've been trying to describe the look in your eyes. The sound of you. When my world was going down, all I needed was the sound of you. When my head was spinning round, all I needed was the sound of you. When my head was spinning round, all I needed was the sound of
Totality has begun. It's not looking like we're gonna see it, guys. But wait. Come on. Yeah. This guy right here, Drew. Totality. You've gotta check this guy out. He was one of the greatest people to possibly be a solar eclipse neighbor.
Drew, astrophotography. Hell yeah.
Electrical engineer and astronomy student at University of Texas, Drew Calra. Please make sure to give him a follow.
For a time lapse of the whole I've been doing a picture every second.
He
since
actually
the beginning of it.
snapped this pic of totality. In that microsecond, it made itself visible in that crack in the clouds. Shout out to you, Drew. It was so awesome meeting you. Well, we're getting out of Fredericksburg. We're gonna make the best of the rest of the day. We're hitting up Torchy's. Thanks for the recommendation, Katie. Quick stop at the Texas Capitol as well. And then, of course, we gotta go see if we can see some bats under the bridge. I honestly suspect that Austin, being in the path of totality, messed up the bat schedules, because there's barely any flying out of the bridge tonight. Alright, I know I said it. If we weren't going to be able to see totality on this trip, I'm going to be traveling to the next one for sure. And I know I said Spain, but check out this path, you guys. It clips the west of Iceland. Totality hits Reykjavik, but look, you go up the coast. Tell me that Latrabjarg is not the best spot ever. I think I'm going to do it. August 12th, 2026. Day 9. Man, I could really get used to living in this house. Thanks again, Steve. Man, this is really a gift and a vacation I will cherish for a lifetime. Thanks for all these drinks and just such a comfortable place to spend in this beautiful state. My mom totally went mom mode and got out the cleaning supplies and loved the house. And I definitely made a tiny dent on your Amy soup supply. Well, this is our last day in the house that Slither built, and we've got to get to the airport to drop my mom off. She's heading back to Michigan. Gonna miss you, Mom. Thanks so much for coming on this trip. Well, we got a pretty easy day today. We're gonna hit up some comedy clubs tonight. There's obviously Comedy Mothership, but tonight we're gonna see some Kill Tony regulars at Vulcan. Downtown Austin is just such a hip place to be. I was actually surprised to see the Red Wings game was on at a lot of the bars. Going to a comedy club in Austin was definitely on our to-do list. But unfortunately, you can't bring your cell phones in. So I'm going to have to cut Day 9's vlog a little short. Sorry you guys can't come in and check this out. Day 10's up next. Tomorrow we're going to go see Tyler Childers. Day 10. I'm so far behind on doing these vlogs. So busy down here every single day. But that's what I came down here for. Today's all about my babe. We're gonna go hang around downtown, get a bite to eat at some food trucks. And tonight's all about her. We're gonna go see Tyler Childers.
I'm a stone's throw from the mill, and I'm a good walk to the river. My working day is over. We'll go swim our cares away. Put your toes down in the water, and a smile across your face, and tell me that you love me, lovely Lady May. No, I ain't the sharpest chisel that your hands have ever held. Darling, I could love you well till the rose crawled on. I've seen my share of trouble, and I felt my weight in shame. But I'm baptized in your name, lovely Lady May.
Remember back in high school, I had friends who really liked the Texas Longhorns. Didn't really know what it was all about, but oh, here I am today at their basketball arena for a country concert. One of the best things about being in a relationship is learning to love things that your partner loves. I know she's been looking forward to this concert for so long, and I'm so excited.
Lord, the wind can leave you shivering as it was the door leaves. It's been rushing through my timber till your love brought on the spring. Now the mountains all are blushing, and he don't know what to say. Set the good long line of praises for my love, Lady May. Now I ain't the toughest hickory that your ex has ever felt, but I'm a hickory just as well. I'm a hickory all the same. I came crashing through the forest as you cut my roots away, and I felt a good long way from my lovely Lady May.
concert. I love you, babe. I can see why people love Austin. Tomorrow we're going to Boca Chica. Day 11. I can't believe it. This is Cassie and I's last day in Texas together. Not gonna lie, today was a lot of just driving and supercharging. Today we've got to squeeze the entire trip from Austin to Boca Chica in one day. It's kind of crazy to do this, but we're gonna give it a go. To try to understand what this is like for you Michigan friends, this would be the equivalent of, say, getting in your car in Muskegon, driving to Munising and going swimming in Pictured Rocks, then getting right back in your car and going home to Muskegon. Oh, this is gonna be a wild one. Couple of Buc-ee's pit stops too. When we finally made it, I can't really tell you what I felt. This is the gateway to Mars. This is where humans are going to leave Earth to go to another planet someday. If you're not familiar with Starbase, this is where SpaceX sends up the largest rockets humanity has ever sent into outer space. Can you kind of get an idea why Cassie and I thought this was going to be worth the entire drive? Oh, it just gives me chills. When we finally made it, the first thing we needed to do after being in the car that long was take a dip. Oh, the Gulf of Mexico was so warm. And this was actually Cassie's first time actually swimming in the ocean. I couldn't talk her to get a little salt water in her mouth though. Can't believe you can just drive right up into SpaceX's facility like this. But we knew we had a humongous long drive back and we had to just get in our cars and start driving again. Well, that was it. We left at like 8 a.m. and didn't get back home till 1 a.m. What a day. I can't believe this vacation's almost over. I gotta take Cassie to the airport tomorrow. Stay tuned for day 12. Day 12. Gotta say goodbye to our Verbo. Thanks for letting us stay at your house, Lois. Gotta take Cassie to the airport. As Cassie makes her way back to Michigan, I've gotta hit the road for 2 long days of driving. But first, after leaving the airport, I want to make a quick stop. The final thing on my bucket list here is to drive past Giga, Texas. I hope my mom got to see this as she was flying out of Austin the other day. This is where her car was built. This is the massive facility that seems to go on forever, where all the new Cybertrucks are being built, and there's thousands of them here waiting to get delivered. The engineering that goes into these cars is just mind-boggling. Last real big city I'm driving through is Dallas. No time to stop though. I gotta keep pressing forward. I got 3 charging stops today in Jarrell, Texas, Red Oak, Texas, and then again in Denison, Texas. I found a place just on the end of the Oklahoma-Missouri border in a small town called Veneta, Oklahoma. There's a guy named Frank who runs an RV park called Park Hills Motel and RV, and he says he's got just the spot for me for $35 that I can plug in on his solar panels. It's a really quiet little RV park. It almost feels like a little community. A lot of these people who stay here for long extended stays. I got this whole little pond to myself back here, and there's a NEMA 1450 outlet just for me to fully charge my car while I sleep. So after a long day's driving, I'm looking to relax a little bit, get some food. Got a nice Wi-Fi connection, finishing off a few cans of Amy's soup, and welcome to my episode of MTV Cribs for the night. Since I got some time to kill, and we've got a really nice moon out in this very dark sky, I'm going to set my telescope up. One of my favorite things about lunar observing is on these partial phases where with a pretty nice sized mirror, you can really kind of still see the perfect sphere of the moon that's got a little bit more light reflecting off of Earth onto it that you can just faintly make out in the darkness of space. This doesn't really do it justice, but putting my phone up to one of my eyepieces that I can magnify deeper on, you can really get in on these craters. It's hard to really see with a phone held up to it, but you'll just have to come out observing with me sometime. Gotta get caught up on hot ones, of course. Man, that Conan episode was pretty insane. Got a little bit more respect for that guy. And kind of feels like I'm on the International Space Station here, looking up some paths of totality and some future eclipses. I'm definitely an Umbraphile now. That's somebody who becomes obsessed with being under the moon's shadow.
All right, end of day 12. I'm so comfy cozy right now in some little RV park in who knows where, Oklahoma. I drove all day long today, non-stop. I just want to get home now and see my kitties. All right, I'm gonna get some good sleep, and day 13, I'm probably gonna have to drive like 15 hours to get home. Not looking forward to it, but camp mode. This is what I signed up for. Good night, guys.
All right, day 13. This is going to be the longest drive yet. I'm going to try to make a 2-day drive into a real long drive. Basically, I'm going to be going from Oklahoma non-stop, charging all the way up to Michigan. So let's hit that open road. Kind of struggling here. How do I make an interesting video where literally all I'm doing all day long is just driving and charging? A couple kind of interesting things happened today. Stopped at the very final Buc-ee's on the way home in Missouri. You know, a lot of people were telling me, you gotta get the barbecue, you gotta get the barbecue. And I'm really, honestly, not really a barbecue guy. Oh my God, that Buc-ee's barbecue was good though. I think I've been converted. They had these really good, like, pudding pie things, too. Oddly enough, I stopped at my first Casey's General Store, where I had to charge up today. Gotta quick publicly shame this guy for using a pull install when he's not using a trailer. Poor charging etiquette, dude. And one really cool thing that happened on this drive was a couple weeks ago, I put in a shout out in my favorite radio station that I knew I was going to be listening to a whole lot on this trip. Just wanted to see if I'd get a shout out, and guess what?
This is the State of Trance, episode 1173. Let's have a quick look at the emails that came in. Casey Loring is on a 50 hours road trip from Muskegon, Michigan to Boca Chica in Texas, and he planned to listen to at least 25 episodes of the State of Trance during the drive. Or listen to the State of Trance.
Oh man, that's too good. It's always crazy to hear your name come out of Armin van Buuren's mouth.
But first, a track that I premiered in the State of Trance in Rotterdam. It's on the State of Trance 2024 compilation. It's from my friend Andrew Rayel. This is The Abyss.
Thanks to everybody who runs that radio show, because that's definitely like the top thing I listen to on the whole ride up and down by myself. Hands down, the most interesting stop of the day was Uranus Fudge Factory. What a very weird thing to kind of run into in the middle of nowhere. I didn't stop to get any fudge, but there's definitely a roadside attraction with a lot of weird things. Not a whole lot of people were there. It was kind of like a ghost town. Very strange, but I loved it. I can't reiterate enough how nice having FSD supervised on this trip was. Really just kind of makes you feel like a passenger in the driver's seat. It just takes over everything. One interesting thing is today is the NCAA National Championship hockey game. Y'all know how much of a college hockey fan I am, so I spent a good chunk of the evening listening to Denver take on Boston College, the powerhouse that ousted my Michigan Tech Huskies. As I'm getting close to being home, I just got to take a second to reflect on how truly lucky I am. I just did this 4,000-mile trip. I didn't have a single flat tire. I didn't have a single rock chip in my windshield. My car was basically flawless. I just hit 4,000 miles on this trip, and I'm so close to being home. The sun's gone down, and it's pretty much nighttime driving through Michigan. I'm on the final home stretch, getting so sleepy. It's been a long time since I've drove. I don't think I've ever driven this many hours by myself in a day, and all I can do is think about getting home to my kitties, who I haven't seen in 2 weeks. I'm sure Cassie's sleeping right now. I'm not even gonna bother waking her up. This is surreal. I'm almost home. I want to take a quick moment again to thank those folks that did the demo drives for me. It really made this trip affordable for me. I barely had to spend any money in electricity, which I'll go over tomorrow. But thanks again, Dave, Brian, Nikki, Cassie, Cullen, Katie, Elijah, Maggie, Randy, Bron, Derek, Nick, Kaylee, and Keith. All those drives you guys did for me basically made this trip with free electricity. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. You guys allowed me to do this. I also can't forget, I gotta thank Carl Bloss for letting me borrow his solar panels. That helped me camp every night that I did. Of course, Steve Howse for letting me stay in his absolutely beautiful place. That made the trip more comfortable than I could ever have imagined. And last but not least, I have to thank Glenn and Kathy Fillion for running a company that allows me to take a 2-week paid vacation from work to really remember who I am and recharge my own internal batteries. And of course, Kevin, Corey, Lori, and Heidi for holding down the fort at work while I was gone for 2 whole weeks. You guys are the best. This definitely wouldn't have been possible without you guys. Oh, Brian was so glad to see me. I was a little nervous about going on such a long road trip that something bad could happen, traffic accident or something, but I lucked out. Definitely not taking it for granted how lucky I am that this trip went so flawless. And Carl, well, Carl's just glad I made it back. All right, I'm home, and I got one more day of vacation left. I got to transition back to normal life, and I'll see you tomorrow on day 14. Sonny boys, we're home. We're home. Let's start the day. Last day of vacation. Yeah. Oh my goodness. As dreamy as that vacation was, it is good to be home. But man, I have 4,000 miles of bugs to take off my front bumper. The first thing I'm going to do on this day off is spend some me time on cleaning it with my new Ego Power Washer. This thing is great for washing cars. It's so nice to not have to plug in, or heck, you don't even need a hose to run this thing. As long as you got a 5-gallon bucket of water, you're pretty much good to go. Completely mobile. A nice quick lather does quick work all those crusted on bugs. One of the main reasons why I wanted to get home so quickly is, after a long vacation like that, I kind of need a me day to just focus on stuff that I haven't gotten done around the house. And the second thing on my list is I need to clean my garage. It is way overdue for a deep clean. That took a lot longer than expected, but I'm actually quite proud of myself. I haven't had my garage this clean in a while. I I do have a lot of knickknacks though, don't I? Third thing to do is feed my goldfish. I think they really missed me. Maybe they just missed the little fish food pellets that I throw in there for them. They sure are getting big. Next up, quick little mow of the lawn with the Ego lawnmower. My garden's off to a good start. Things definitely grew a little bit while I was gone. I got some cucumbers, raspberries, cherry tomatoes starters, and wow, my strawberries are about to explode right now. I really needed this final vacation day just to relax in my little slice of life. Well, that's it. Tesla Totality. It's over. I gotta go back to real life now. The last 2 weeks definitely felt like a dream. So it really is going back to real life. Gotta go back to work tomorrow. Wow. That was the greatest vacation I've ever had. I spent my whole life not even thinking I'd ever choose Texas as a destination for a vacation. And then I found out that, man, I think I could live in Texas someday. Well, before we go, I wanted to take a quick minute to crunch some numbers for all the EV nerds out there who were curious about how much electricity I used up on a huge trip like this. Opening up the Tesla app on my phone, you can see for the month of April, I used about 1.3 megawatts of energy. You can kind of go day by day, seeing how much I charged, where it breaks it down by supercharging, which is in red, or other in gray. Obviously, the two big red spikes in there are the days I drove down and drove up. And it does give a pretty good gas savings estimate. You can see down below, it's estimating over the last 2 weeks, I saved approximately $630 and spent a total of $37 on electricity. That's actually not too bad. Comparing it with what I calculated here on this Google spreadsheet I made that basically just catalogs every single charge I did on the entire trip. It's really easy to get this data just right from the Tesla app. And you can kind of see I highlighted in red every single supercharger station. I list how much energy my car was pumped in my car's battery, how long I spent charging, what the charging rate was. You can see most superchargers are about 34 cents per kilowatt hour, whereas charging level 2 is about, a residential rate, somewhere, averaged around 15 cents, I'm guessing. And then I kept track of what the cost to me was. You can see this whole column's almost all zeros because of the free supercharging and, technically free to me charging. Like, for example, April 4th to 7th, I charged a lot at Steve's house on his NEMA 1450 outlet. Of course, Steve didn't charge me any money for this, but hey, I wanted to keep track of how much energy I pulled off his house and, get a rough idea and be able to share that. So you can see here a lot of zeros, and when you got to the very end, I didn't really have to pay for a supercharge until that very last day of driving on my way back up. I ended up spending, $35 on supercharging the entire 4,044 miles. So you can kind of see, that's why I'm so appreciative of all you guys I mentioned in last video for doing those demo drives for me. So, you know, even here, I did calculate every time I charged at Steve's house. I multiplied how many kilowatt hours I charged, multiplied it by about 15 cents is probably what he's paying. And yeah, I owe Steve $20.55. So if you're watching this, Steve, I owe you a chunk of some pasta salad next time you're in Michigan. How about that, bud? Real good memory. Anyways, so I did keep track of how much electricity I charged on this whole entire trip, just to kind of get an idea. And if I would have had to pay for every bit of electricity the whole way, it came out to be about $355 in electricity, plus the $52 that I actually did charge. So it was about $400 of electricity is what my car used, where I only had to pay $52. What an awesome trip. Holy smokes, $33.84 for tolls in Texas. Jeez, that's almost as much as I paid for all my electricity on the whole trip combined. That's some expensive tolls, Texas. I guess the last kind of statistical nerd stuff I wanted to share is driving an electric vehicle on a long road trip like this. Super, like way cheaper than a gas car. Honestly, it really isn't. If I would have had to pay $408 in electricity, what's that compared to? That might have actually been a little bit more expensive than, say, I use fueleconomy.gov. My 2012 Ford Fiesta with about 34.6 miles per gallon, that whole 4,000 mile trip might have only been a little under 400. So kind of right along pace. Honestly, would my Ford Fiesta have been as comfortable as my Tesla? Hell no, I would have chose my Tesla, even if I was paying full price for the electricity. Some other comparisons here. Jeep Wrangler, 20 miles per gallon. Yeah, you're spending probably $600 to $700 in gasoline only. The vehicle my dad has, a Chrysler Town & Country, yeah, same thing, $600 to $700. Yeah, so I will say, this fueleconomy.gov is pretty accurate here. I would have been about $355 is what I calculated, and they said $364. That's about $10 difference. That's pretty accurate. Granted, you do have to be mindful that I am driving a Tesla Model 3 Performance, the least efficient Tesla Model 3 possible, with big 20-inch rims, which are not efficient at all. Other vehicles, I calculated an Alfa Romeo Giulia, another $600. If I would have taken a 2020 Chevy Corvette, we're talking about premium gasoline, somewhere up around $900 in fuel. Holy smokes, Ford F-150 pickup, 17 miles per gallon, would have been almost $800. And shoot, I definitely wouldn't wanted to take my boss's Toyota 4Runner with 18 miles per gallon. That would have been well over $700 too. So, hey, Model 3 Performance is even a good road trip car in my opinion, especially when you get free supercharging. Are superchargers closer to the cost of gasoline? Yeah, real savings come in when you're only driving your 300-mile range of your car and charging for 15 cents per kilowatt hour at home. Then we're talking like a quarter of the price of gasoline, somewhere around there. Well, that's it. That was Tesla Totality. What an amazing experience. It's been a long time since I made a vlog like this. And it was a great artistic outlet. So I really appreciate everybody who watched this over the last 2 weeks. I'll end this by putting a plug. Tesla Summer Meetup's coming up June 15th, 16th. Tesla Owners Club of Michigan is putting on a ton of energy to making this event absolutely incredible this year. There's 3 Roadsters, 10 Cybertrucks coming. YouTubers from all over the world are showing up this year. We got a huge new venue, Heritage Landing in downtown Muskegon, which has this incredible stage. So if you're part of the Tesla community or just curious about electric vehicles, definitely come out to Muskegon on the 15th. And don't forget Plaid Day on June 16th. We're going to have a whole bunch of S and X plaids. I think even a Cyber Beast is coming out to that. So we're going to be ripping down the road, offering people the chance to experience that less than 2 seconds 0 to 60, which is just an unforgettable experience. So thanks for joining me, and thanks for watching Tesla Totality. My name's Casey Loring. Thanks for watching.